All right, so we'll call the meeting to order at 6 o'clock on the nose, and we'll start off with minutes. And you have those in front of you.
I think Celia does a wonderful job with the minutes because we get pretty scattered sometimes.
She does okay for a,
Well,
Richmond kid. She does all right.
Compared to all the work Diana has to do.
I was reading them before I came over and I thought, whoa.
Wow.
Well, it's just notes, just taking notes.
But it's great to have.
Motion to approve as
Thanks for
presented.
coming- Thanks for coming up for it. We've had to check the minutes. You've had them in there before that, so. All right, motion made by Doug to approve the minutes as presented. Is there a second?
Yep.
John seconds. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, we'll go to the treasurer's report.
Okay, we have
By the way,
five.
before you start, man,
Yes,
she went to the hearing the other day at the budget hearings. I just want you to know, we were well represented. She did great. She was challenged by Roy on something, and Roy was wrong, and well, I can't say wrong, he was less right than you were. So she corrected him that this is how this works instead, and did a good job. The council is very supportive of us and very supportive of Diane, and I know she has, but she certainly deserves all of our appreciation. So thank you.
you're welcome.
I'll
Thank
never
you
say
for
another
your-
nice thing about you. Anytime
Thank you
ever.
for your support. I
Yeah.
worried about it after that meeting.
Oh, you did
because
great. You did just
I thought,
exactly
oh,
right.
I disagreed.
Well, but that's okay to disagree, because they have so many numbers and so many things come
Oh,
through,
yeah.
and it's always well intended, but it was good to stand your ground and say, no, this is how that is, so you did good.
I appreciate that, thank you. I guess maybe I should start with that, since
Sure.
we already started that. I presented the budget, and I inserted $44,000 in the amount requested for the other services and charges for the 25% of the new 3%, in addition, the additional 3% that we would receive from the innkeeper's tax. And I had already emailed all the scribbly worksheets that we had used here, and Mary Ann Wood and Pam Adams have also helped me. And Roy Wrightson said, of course, we came up with $43,494.23 as our 25% using our spreadsheet. And he came up with 41,000.
Yeah, pretty close, yeah.
So I said, well, that's pretty close. We
Yeah,
came
yeah.
up with just about the same
Yeah.
numbers. And I had just rounded it up to 44,000. But he said he was going to increase it to 85,000. And so that increased it $41,000, making our budget a total of $250,000. Well, in Doug's figures, 25% of the 3% additional that we would get, that's expecting us to receive
$340,000.
in innkeeper's tax.
And he made it, and Roy made it plain that he
Yeah.
didn't expect us to get their business, or they have to publish the budget, they have to put numbers in that may be accurate, so
Right.
it's okay to be less than that, we just couldn't be more than that, so that's why he put a
Right.
high number in there.
He was
So,
just,
If he's,
Cushion.
I really hope he's right, Joe.
Why did you?
For one.
wouldn't that be awesome?
No, that means
Yeah.
that would be an extra $135,000 for us.
But the question he had was, he had this $100,000 in publications and $55,000 in covered bridge maintenance. He wanted to make sure that's what we wanted in there. And I disagreed with him because we took that money that we placed in covered bridge maintenance from operating supplies, which is paper, ink, and that kind of thing, and postage, and put it in the covered bridge maintenance. And I told him I disagreed with him in the way he stated it, but I said, that's beside the point. We are asking for $100,000 in publications and $55,000 in covered bridge maintenance. And he was fine with that.
Yeah, and really, it's just our budget, we can move around whatever
Yeah.
we need to move around,
This is actually just
approximations.
approximations,
Yes.
because
Yep.
it doesn't mean that we're gonna get it.
Yep.
It's just approximations.
But if we do, we're covered.
We're covered. So we'll let you know how that ends up. But anyway, that's that. The invoices, we have 5 for approval. We have Courtney's at $14.55, and you can see the breakdown of that. I've already paid the Visa Facebook ad of $364.39. Midwest Printing for 25,000 brochures and maps, and I've got the invoice number there, $10,804. Cameron Sprinkle, $800 for video production services, and $8,500, and this is upon approval this evening for the Indiana Recreation Guide, and that's a full-page back cover.
And that's for 2024.
And that's for 2024. So that makes it $21,923.39 total for invoices that would need approval. And I don't know if you want to go ahead and approve the $8,500 or wait until we discuss it.
I thought we kind of approved that, didn't we? Okay.
What's the 8,500 for?
It's
The DNR Rec Guide proposal for 2024 to be the back cover.
Well, we can approve it all contingent upon our approval of that, so.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, here it is.
That got the whole thing.
So is there a motion to approve the 21,923.39 plus the 8,500 contingent upon approval?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Okay, we move second to approve the invoices as presented, including the 8,500 contingent upon approval in a few moments. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Okay, thank you. Now then, the deposit for May was $20,114.11. If you look on this spreadsheet, this one, you can see that in June, up above at the top, the actual receipts in June was $27,153.52. Now then, look at the bottom, and you can see that we've received no deposits in July. And as of right now, I don't have a bank statement that proves we've received a deposit in August. So in June, $29,053.87 was deposited in the bank account. So that made us, gave us a total of $96,399.19 for the year. And you can see how sporadic it is. I've got zeros where we didn't get a deposit for those months so that we know when we did and did not receive a deposit. And then this is the copy of the innkeeper's tax report for what was collected in June, paid in July. And it was, you can see the breakdown. The electronic fund transfer from the state was $3,876.98, and the amount from Rockville Lakes was $55.93, with the amount at the top from the treasurer's office was $27,153.52.
And that's just for June paid in July.
Yes, that's
Okay.
just for June, paid in July. And if you look across the board here, if you want to look at the very top of the spreadsheet that we just had, this one, you can see that that's an increase of just about $4,000. Well, it's over 4,000, isn't it?
About
Yeah,
47.
From last year.
And if you look at the history of those 6 pay periods there for the last 6 months, say they average 20,000 a month. This one's 27, so they average, that's not 120,000. So we're talking about over $200,000 right there in the expectations. So.
Yeah.
So this month's, the Airbnb or the money that's flowing through the state, which we do have some of the smaller motels now doing that, is 14.2% of everything we collected. I mean, that is becoming a bigger number as we move forward. Yep.
So that's good. And then the sheet with the graph is our expenditures, and that, I also included this month's in the spreadsheet so you can see. And I've got it organized so it should show the largest to the least of what our expenditures were, where we spent the most money and where we spent the least amount of money. And then this is the budget, and you see here in the red is publications. We're in the negative for that, and understand now that is also internet and all of our Facebook ads and everything. So, yeah, and then our amounts in the account there is $1,823.83 in the postage fund balance, and $34,379.28 in the Fountain Trust Innkeeper's Tax Receipt account. And also, I believe I have only deposited $5,000. No, that's not right. Hang on a minute, I'll tell you. I'm deposited in the postage fund. Let's see, where is that? Here it is, $2,500. So I've only deposited $2,500 in the postage fund, and you see what we have left in there, $1,823.83. So we're sending less brochures all the time.
Because more was done
Because of
online.
our, yes.
In the past, if we've had to, like the publications, we run out of money in one line, have you had to go back to the council and ask them to move funds or transfer funds, or we just pay it and bounce it out at the end
I
of the year?
feel like we could do that if we needed to.
Okay.
We've never had to.
Yeah, I don't think we should. I can talk to Roy about that if they would prefer we do, but really is our budget. They just have to see, they don't really approve it, but.
Yeah.
But if we just need to spend, run the red, and then at the end of the year, we just move things to justify all that, we can do that, I think.
But to be honest, we've never kept track of it like this.
Yeah, it's
So,
nice.
so that way we can show.
Maybe Justin says we need to, and for next year, we know if we need more someplace, we can put it.
Right.
Yeah.
Motion to approve the treasurer's report is presented.
Motion, I'll make a motion.
Thank you. That's all I have.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve treasurer's report as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Thank
You do a remarkable job, lady. Nicely done.
Thank you.
All right, anybody have any questions for the auditor about how she can afford a new car or anything? Feed those honeybees like she does?
Yeah.
Uh,
All right, we'll move on to marketing then.
Since the state's not here, I'm gonna go ahead with marketing versus social media, because I want them to do the social media part, okay? We have only a brief update on the newspaper, correct? We haven't had an update since the last meeting.
Yep.
All right, so I'm assuming we're gonna get that updated for next month for us to
Oh,
approve
yeah,
that.
oh, yeah, for sure.
We're just
Okay.
waiting for the next group.
We didn't get one this month, but I want to remind everyone, because we had some questions at the last meeting about the photos that we were going to change and those kinds of things. And the layout in Jim's letter, okay? All right, the next thing is that we have forwarded you the DNR publication requests. Again, for 2024, they print 225,000. The artwork is due, this is last year's ad, just to kind of refresh everyone. So I'm asking for a motion that we'll do it again at 225,000. I had sent out, on that, I would like a stronger, I'm gonna first ask for approval to do the ad, and then we're gonna get in what we're gonna put in the ad, okay? So I'm gonna move that we continue our being on the back cover of the DNR rec guide for 2024 at $8,500.
Is there a second?
Second, or
Just one, anyone, you had a bunch of them. Been moved and seconded to approve the $8,500 that we approved the invoice for DNR to be the back cover. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Okay, here then I given copies to everyone here of the ad itself and the documents with that on the ad. And what I would propose is that we delay a decision on the actual ad until next month, and we let everyone look at this and study it. But specifically, having now spent 7 days at the Indiana State Fair with ISFA 1, where I have given away approximately 1,000 cover bridge maps in those 7 days, okay, along with thousands of festival guides, because the emphasis is that. For every 3 of these that we've given away, we're giving away 2 of these, okay? So on the table, if you've seen, I sent a couple people pictures where I've been out. If you look at this table with that, I put these next to each other, and then normally in the morning, I start out with 20 or equal numbers. If I think it's going to be a big day, I put 30, and I put 20 of these. All right, and then I refill in increments of 10 throughout the day, so I get an average about what we're giving away. But I'm more emphasis on looking at what we're giving away at the state fair, which is a demographic that's relative an hour from us in general. When you think that their average visitor is within 2 hours of downtown Indianapolis, that's 80% of their attendance. So what I was surprised is that we were giving 2 away when we gave 3 of these. I thought it would be 4 or 5 or 6 to 1.
So the one with Turkey Run.
It's the same brochure, yes, it's just
Right,
split different.
but how, so they're pleased by, they're
There are 3 of
visually.
these for 2 of these. That taught me, the state fair, the first day it became obvious, because I put equal piles out, and I realized at the end of the evening, there wasn't much difference. So the next day I counted. I started doing 30 and 20. And then if I ran out, I would add 10, and I just marked it
And
down.
what do you think is the reason for that then?
Well, what I realized is that this brand, remember, we're 1/8 of a mile down from the DNR, because we're in the Pioneer Village with the Festivals Association, and DNR is at the opposite end. We had what I call a lot of people pick up the Turkey Run side. And that told me that when we're looking at the DNR Rec Guide ad, which is to me relative, when we're looking at who our target market is, here, our emphasis should be bold and beautiful about Turkey Run and shades and
Yeah, that's
raccoon
what I was
lake.
asking,
I
about, why you
agree.
learned from that, so yeah.
Yes.
I think it shows
Meaning,
that too.
in this publication that we're advertising in, I just thought we're emphasizing the covered bridges, and that's maybe not our real target market when we're looking at in
That's
print.
Very clever that you did that.
Yeah.
I would not have thought to do something
Nisa
like
had
that.
asked
but
me,
anyway.
respectfully, Nisa asked me to do a double, because she sees some of the pictures when I do send it to them.
yeah.
And she had seen the pictures, and she asked me to do that.
Yeah.
And I told her, and I reported back to her on approximate what we were going through and how many we've gone through. Because she was concerned, remember I've been out for a month now, and I've been out a lot with ISFA1, is that we're going through hundreds times more of this than anybody else that we put on the table.
Yeah.
Okay, there's just no question.
All no.
And
Go ahead.
okay, so it told me that I, as marketing chairman, respectfully, I need to be focused on every ad we're doing and who is the target market of that publication as it relates to what we're doing and report back to you.
That worked out well.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's kind of in line with the new holiday edition we're trying to do as well. That's more made for the exact marketing material.
Okay?
Yeah, yeah.
So,
And you're in there.
so what I would like to propose is after this meeting, that the marketing committee meet sometime between now and next month, and we come back with a written proposal on what we're going to propose for a redesign of this. Okay, and keeping in mind, this is the DNR publication versus other publications that we're going to do. Okay?
On 74, the Welcome Center, we just came through there in Virginia. We don't have brochures there. Are we supposed to have brochures?
Okay,
On
74 where we're at.
The Welcome Center is just come across from Cincinnati.
Uh,
Just
we-
inside the Indiana line.
You thinking that?
The east side?
I could stand corrected, if they're at the Welcome Center at 74,
Yep.
that means
They are
NISA.
not, they are not there.
Okay, but NISA would be sending those there.
Okay.
Because I'd have to check with Steve, with Tourist Information Services. I don't think we're buying I-74 from Indianapolis to Cincinnati.
Okay.
We're
There
buying
weren't-
I-74.
There weren't many brochures there. On the stacks, there were stacks, but they were 2 feet apart. They just had a
Right.
stack here, a stack there, a stack there, so there was plenty of room.
Right.
I didn't know if we had interest in going from that Kentucky, Cincinnati area in or not, because if you come from Kentucky, you're gonna go to Cincinnati and over that way.
Okay, we have 2 ways of getting them to that visitor center. We can send them with the approval letter from Parke County Incorporated. NISA would have to ship those. Or we buy the Tourist Information Services routes in that market, and then Steve also now has a contract with the state builders. Okay, I will tell you that, as Nisa knows, when ISFA 1 goes on the interstate, we stop at every rest stop and we go in and see if they have festival guides. And you have to understand, I'm marketing chairman here, so if they don't have covered bridge maps, I leave covered bridge maps. At least, I cannot leave a whole box, I have to put them out on display only.
Right,
So, and I have to see how much space they have.
right.
So the only place I put out over a box at one time was on I-65 North at the Welcome Center, rest area that's north of Lafayette. That's the only one where we didn't have them, because some of the other routes, and then I stopped twice on 65 South there around Columbus, both ways, and then I stopped once south of Columbus at the other one that's north of Louisville. And they had no covered bridge maps there, they did have festival guides.
Okay.
But when they're there, then that's why I'm having 4 or 5 cases or 6 cases of covered bridge maps and ISFA 1, because I drop those off at the same time.
Okay,
Okay?
go ahead.
All right? The next thing I had on the agenda was from,
Question.
oh, I'm sorry.
The guide, it says 8,000.
Yeah,
We
it
have
does. That's what
8,500.
I was gonna ask. It says 8,000
What's the
here.
invoice saying?
This is the invoice. This is the only thing we've received so far.
So we would get 8,500.
I'm thinking it is my eyes.
Okay, so then we need
There's that
to,
car payment.
You can approve.
Found that thing.
See, I told you, I knew. How many beehives can you have for $500?
One.
John, make a motion for 8,000.
I'll make a motion for 8,000.
Okay.
I'll second it for 8,000.
All right, the motion has been changed to $8,000 for DNR. All in favor, say aye.
Hi.
Opposed? Okay.
Okay, the other thing is that NISA, after the last meeting, we approved the 2 additional festival guides. Only one of those had been put in as of last evening. She had 2 to put in, right? And the other question that we did not approve back in May, that there was a question as we get closer to the deadline, is correct me, we weren't sure back in May or April when we did the festival guide, and then we added the 2. We weren't sure if they were going to continue with the run that's the Park Vermilion County run, because Vermilion County run now doing an event at the former depot that's Boston Marathon qualified.
Wow.
And there was a question if they were going to continue to have what I call the Park Vermilion County run. So we did not pay for their membership, and Diane, correct me, I have had no contact with that group if they're going to continue to run the 5K or the 5K walk
Over the
run.
river and through the woods?
Yes.
I have seen ads on Facebook, I think. Haven't you, Tammy?
Well, it's this year. I haven't,
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll extend it to next year.
That's the question.
Oh,
Because
I see what
yeah,
you're
see,
saying.
we paid for
Okay.
23, but I already know that Vermilion County bought 10 memberships at $425, and that was not in that because their commissioners thought that if it was going to be continued, we had paid for that in the past, and that's a whole different subject.
Okay.
What can you confirm if they are now? Do you have some contact person to talk to?
I had relied on the people that were runner walkers, that wouldn't be done.
No.
But if we do, then the question is,
Isn't that the redevelopment? Is that who's doing that?
I know
It was
who's
Parker
posted on.
it was Park.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know who posted it on Facebook. It's the event, so I can reach out to her if you want.
If you do, okay, then the next question, is that something that we would want to continue to put in the festival guide? At $825, or at what level?
If they're gonna run it, and we've done it in the past, I say we go ahead and do that.
But does it benefit Parke County? Because I think the
It-
funds are actually for something in Vermilion, aren't they?
The park board received some of the funds from their event.
They do?
Yes.
Okay.
And it starts and stops in Park County, but it goes across the
Yeah.
river.
Yeah.
It does.
I mean, until.
But I thought the fundraiser was for is it the animal shelter over there?
No, that's the kayak race.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
that
think the
happens
community,
this Saturday.
in Vermilion County,
The kayak
Community
race.
Foundation involved in that.
They
It's
were,
their
they
Trail
were in
Alliance.
in 2023, their memberships were paid by the Vermilion County
Yeah.
Community Foundation, and this year they're paid for by the Vermilion County Commissioners have stepped in, and they're taking it out of general funds. And they did they put 10 memberships versus the 4 the Community Foundation had done previously. That's what Vermilion County's doing, and they've already paid, so I know what they're doing, no different than that.
Yeah.
But when I'm going through the membership renewals of who's paid and what we're doing, that's the one we didn't know about back in April, May, if it's gonna continue, because we knew they were working on this new event at the depot.
Well, we just need confirmation as far as I'm concerned, and if they're going to, and we've done it in the past, I don't see changing it now, and making them come up.
I can't vote on this, so somebody else has to make a motion in a second,
Why can't you vote on that?
because I work for the Festival Association.
Doesn't matter, you're a board member here. So you're directing action to this board.
Oh,
That's
okay.
a crazy thing, a lot of people think they can't do that. You
Okay,
can, yeah.
all right.
You're not,
I just
you're
don't
not
wanna
getting any money
conflict.
for the association.
Well, I
If we
get
wanna-
paid.
If we wanna cheat your association, we'll cheat you by God.
Okay.
We do it open, no, that's the way it's gonna work.
I'll make a second.
All right.
I'll second that.
Can you second the
I
motion?
can second or make a motion on one, yes. All right, move to second then to approve that $850 membership for the.
$825.
$825 for the Park and Main Run.
I'd say as many people were in Montezuma, that was a good investment.
Yeah.
For as many people that were there.
It was.
And it's just another use for our bridge, which is a good thing to share.
That's
and-
right.
Gets, yeah,
Yes, our
exposure
bridge.
to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was a good one.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay.
Next, each of us got an email from Nisa Jones as the Executive Director of Parke County Incorporated about 2 items over the last month. The first one, she wants us to do this color route map about without the dining and without the shopping, and she, correct me Courtney, because you've been involved in this a little bit, she wants Courtney to develop this map that we have here without all the stuff on it for use of, and explain that to us, because I don't fully understand.
I don't know if I can fully explain that. I think they want to print them and hang them. I don't know
Well,
about,
I think she wants a separate map to print, but then she wants a bigger banner one that she can just explain to people instead of opening up the map and trying to explain that on the smaller paper.
So-
She wants a big banner.
I think it's a posters. Here with me, I have an email.
When we do this sign down there, we're gonna have a special printed map, right? Maybe that would work.
Okay, so
More
thinking
solid
ahead to
than you got
October,
coffee.
we have so many inquiries about the colored routes from visitors during the festival. I was wondering if we could approve a colored route map without dining, shopping, etc. I'd love to have an enlarged map that shows the routes, towns that we have to display at our info booth, as well as under the tent for easy visibility. And make it easier for us to explain to visitors rather than opening up the brochure each time. So it's
So I think she wants it just so she can show the different routes without
talking to
having all
people.
of the clutter.
But they would still.
But they would
take them
still
out
get
and
that
use.
map.
Yes. So it's just one for her to use for display to show
Right.
people when they come up, ask about the routes, where they go, she can show that.
Right.
And then give them the map to show all the things along the way.
Correct.
Really, it's just the design time of removing all of the identifiers of the shops and restaurants. I'm assuming we've only covered bridges because
Yes.
those aren't changing. And then it would be the actual printing, if we're paying for the printing of the posters. So that's what we're talking about, really.
Does there, when those were actually something we should have thought about, because we do this with the GIS with the maps that we have in the courthouse. Are those done in layers, and the layers are added so we can choose what layers to include on our printing? So we wouldn't have to do anything other than to exclude a layer on the printing, right?
It's not set up that seamlessly.
Okay.
Whoever designed it initially, it's
Okay,
not.
ours are, it's too bad they're not. Maybe we
Yeah.
should look at that in the future, so anytime we have anything we want to add to our map, we can do it by a layer, just
Yeah,
lay it on.
no, it could be redesigned
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah, that'd be a good way to do
Can
that.
you do that?
Mm-hmm.
Can you?
Yeah,
a lot
it
of
was
work.
it was just not laid out like that. Whoever
It was
designed it
designed by a
initially.
cartographer in the first place,
Right.
and it wasn't really in a format for a
Honestly,
graphic artist. to
layers
use.
probably weren't even
Yeah.
really
Oh,
used
yeah.
back then.
Photoshop was not used at
Yeah,
all.
so, yeah.
It could be as a way, at least, like I know what I'm talking about, or what I've done in the past, you can pull that up, take all those things off, save it as something, and then you don't have to change anything on that map. The next one, go over and take those things off and save as, like a picture, and then you'll have all those options. You wouldn't have to really add a layer, you could just have a copy of what each of those would look like without those other things on it.
Right.
Yeah,
Where I'm coming from on this is that we could take this and flatten it and put it on thick board, and that's the poster. And that would cost us $10. I don't see, I personally am having a challenge when we as a group here, since 1995, we have paid for this, where they used to do this, or this was privately done. And now this is our map, and now they're coming to us and wanting a different map for their promotional purposes for their special event. And how would that be, in my mind, any different than if Montezuma or Rockville or somebody else came and said a PCI? This is the official county promotional piece that we have developed. And on the flip side of this, we have gone above and beyond, and we have the extensive list of what's on each of the colored
well, I don't
routes.
think those would cease to be used. I think just a matter if you got it on the wall, where you can show
We're
where
really
these,
just, we're not
where these
talking
routes
about
go.
much, but an hour or two of,
And, well, we're gonna have those you are here deals like
Yeah.
that, the codes,
Yes.
don't need that.
Yes.
And
Be the
couldn't we
same
just
thing.
make a few of those and give every community some of them? I mean, how expensive could they be?
And once we do it, it's never gonna change. The bridges are gonna remain the same.
Exactly.
None of the shops and stuff are
And
gonna
all
be
that's
on
doing is
it.
showing where the route is, but then I'll hand them this map, so they'll have that map and all the things will
Right.
be on that map.
I personally, I probably would, if there were a poster available like that and I could put a marker of, you know,
You're
at my
good.
studio in Bloomingdale, I would probably hang something like that in my business place.
I get Doug's deal.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
I
do.
do. That's why
But
I
they'll still get
say
that anyway, yeah.
you either gotta do it equally
Yeah.
or it's favoritism, so.
But I don't think we should make maps to hand out. If a community wants one or PCI wants one,
Right.
give them one. Here's the one you put on the wall, show people where stuff is, and then
And then hand them
them
our
the map.
one.
Or we do what we do at Montezuma, they buy them and then we pay for up to $1,000 for their half of the ground map that they do, as an example.
We can also just provide them the design and they can be responsible for, like I said, if a business wants to print one out and hang it up, they.
I think we're being
Yeah, I mean,
penny foolish here. I think it's such an inexpensive thing to do. We just make
Yeah.
9 or 10 of them and give them to the communities, and they got them, put them on the wall. They can use it for directions and hand them this map. It's got all the information on it.
and we collaborated with
Absolutely.
Partnership Parke County for when Okra was in town for those, the cards, which I just saw her today, and she's going to give me the rest of them. So I'll bring them wherever I need to take them. But
I
yeah,
understand
we
Doug's
help-
concern,
Yeah.
but it's not,
Yeah.
we're not gonna have those plain maps to pass out. Plain maps just gonna be on the wall for display to show them where they are, and then they'll give them this map to show everything on it.
What do you think, like 10 or 20 of those would cost?
Well, I guess too, what are we talking about? Are we talking about posters or a signboard or
If-
an actual retractable banner?
No.
I know, I would
If
just.
this
like
a
size
poster.
here turns sideways, like the big festival guide covers we do, those are 125 to
Are you thinking
175.
that?
In the
people would
poster
put them
board?
On
And they're
easels?
on,
on poster, like a thick.
they're on really thick, they don't
So
bend
something
unless
that-
they get wet.
And I
Yeah.
don't know, we need 10 or 12, I'm just saying community-wise, give one to Montezuma, one
Yeah.
to a
Well,
PCI.
I didn't know if Tangier, I mean,
Yeah, put a
I-
community center there, but most time there's nobody there, most time, but there would be somebody during the festival, so we don't wanna make too many of them, but I think enough to cover every community. Belmore wouldn't need one, no place in Belmore to put it, and for any visits there, so we don't wanna do that. I wouldn't wanna pick the Amish shop and not have the boat shop have one, so you can't really do that, but places that have centers,
yeah.
like you guys,
Rosedale,
PCI,
Montezuma.
Rosedale does, yeah.
That's
Magnolia.
not fair, because the
Yeah.
Amish shop respectfully, Joan has a sign on the side of their building that says free cover maps in here too.
Well, and they have the maps, they got those, that's fine.
Right.
But they don't need the one showing the direction, I think that's just for community center stuff, tourist center type stuff.
Where somebody's gonna ask, where are the bridges around here?
And really, I don't know that we need really any more than just the visitor center. To me, that's just the place to go. I don't know that every place needs one for that. So think on that too, but they're looking at having 2 signs mounted, as far as I remember, the uptown and out there. And then we had one for inside the building, the tourist. I don't know, every other town needs one. You can pass out maps there. If they want to see something simpler, go to the,
Well, and we can
Visitor center.
put our own on a board.
yeah, you
Just
can.
unfold it,
Absolutely.
and so it's
Yeah.
easier to show people.
So I think that's all she's asking for, something to have in the depot to be able to show people where they go.
So basically, we're looking at, if it were just the depot, about $125. If other communities are interested,
That's another 125. Yeah.
so we just know that if the
Yeah.
other ones want it, then we would, be paying, 120, but
Don't you think that
but I
price
think
is
just
about
doing
right? On a poster board corrugated?
How much?
No, I haven't ordered a
Yeah.
corrugated
We get
poster
ours
in a
out of
while.
Vincennes. There's a company down there that we send the color proof and they print it and they ship it, and with shipping and everything, it's
How much you saying, Doug?
125 to 175 for the size of the mega festival guides, which
I
is
can
like
definitely
that.
get prices
I-
That sounds
from
close
big
to
picture
me.
enlarging.
Right,
or hope to.
fair.
I would just do it an actual poster, that they can roll up and ship in one of the things and she can buy her own frame.
The board makes it really permanent. I mean, we've got some from the festival guide from
I
2009.
think people will just, like, I'm thinking of Bloomingdale's, like, where are they gonna
They won't
hang
have.
it?
That's
They
why I
won't.
think we just get one for PCI at the
Yeah.
visitor
Okay.
center and go from there then. And then when
Am I
Morris
gonna
and
make a
Ray
motion?
Benford, the two, they can do those two, so.
Or
would
I
make it-
split the cost, let Courtney design it and tell me to order it.
Yeah, I mean, I think we should just pay for it.
Is that your motion?
That was just a suggestion.
So I think that's what we're talking about, is having Courtney design that and then we order one, is what we're talking about. And I don't think we need
So
to
you'll
get,
send us a proof out before it goes to print?
Yep.
it's basically gonna be the map without anything but the covered bridges on it, right? That's what we're looking at?
In
So-
Boulder
I-
cities.
I will make a
And the cities.
In
motion
Boulder cities.
that
It's just
we
removing the
have-
shopping and the restaurants, essentially. and
I'll make
hotels.
it a motion, we allow Courtney to,
Before you go off that, when you do your motion, if you would, I
Yes.
wouldn't make it specific to $125. I would say up to $250, I believe.
yes, that we were covered, okay. I'd like to make a motion that we have Courtney design a plain Jane covered bridge route map, one copy for PCI, and we could spend up to $250. How's that?
I'll second that.
All right.
Brilliant motion. You did good. All in favor, say aye. Okay, done.
Okay, the next thing that Lisa had sent to all of us is that PCI is on this fundraising opportunity to raise, correct me, around $20-some thousand, and they were wondering if we were going to make a financial commitment to the repainting and the restoration of the exterior of the building that is owned by the town of Rockville.
She sent me a text. She's transporting a friend who's getting
Right.
cancer treatments right now.
Yes.
So yeah, so she went. Sure.
I can tell you my thoughts on that, is that we paid for the whole painting job on it. We didn't participate with the original restoration of the thing in the first place, volunteer-wise or money-wise. And if we were talking about $20,000 to repaint that, and then we're talking about promoting that as our tourist center, they didn't mow the grass, and so if we did that, so I'm just throwing that out there. I'm not opposed to paying the whole $20,000.
And I
Or we
think
can make it, we would pay whatever the remainder was from the fundraising.
Well, this is on that.
If it's this
It's a
restoring
shared one.
and preserving the historic 1883 train
Yes.
depot, it's $12,500 is what it's showing here.
Yes,
I
That's
clicked
what
on
they're
the
wanting you
link.
to raise.
Okay.
And that's matching.
And that's matching.
Yeah.
So then the whole thing is 25,000.
But the matching is $12,000.
Well, yeah,
I think we should consider just
12,500.
paying all of that, not making them go through the fundraising thing to do that. I think that'd
No,
be-
I think
let's-
that kind of ruins the fun though.
Okay, that's fine. If you
I
want
think,
to,
I
how
think
about
we
we-
should let them try to raise some money
and
on their own.
that's what I said.
What
too.
if we
can
match
just-
what they raise?
We can just reassure them that we'll cover whatever shortage there, or match what they
Match
raise.
what they
yeah, like
raise.
that,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, let's do that. Is that your motion?
That's my
Can we have
motion.
some more
We'll
discussion?
match.
Sure.
Okay, how about we just commit a small token amount, because we can add every month to this amount. But
Yeah,
there are people
Yeah.
that I've been told that she's out fundraising with, that they're going to do like we're gonna do, or propose, is that they might kick in more to make sure they make the goal of 12.5, so they get the other 12.5.
and to be fair,
So-
the town of Rockville is fundraising too.
Yeah, the town of Rockville's helping raising the money too.
Good.
I mean, this is the town's
Hey.
building.
So do you want
So
to?
we just wanna give a token
$1,000
$1,000?
Is that what you're saying?
Well, I just want to have
We
a
can always
discussion
give
about,
more,
we can
like you
always
said.
give, every month we can give more to this, because they're not going to do this before the Kettle Bridge Festival.
Well, give me a dollar amount. What do you propose we give them toward their
Spin
fundraising?
the wheel! Spin the wheel!
I feel like you have a number.
I did.
What are you
Here's the
thinking,
number,
Doug? 500, 1,000?
2,000.
5,000 is a good number.
Yeah, but they're trying to raise 12.5.
Right.
Oh, that's
so,
right.
See, and
yeah.
so, to me, they're trying to raise 12.5. We give 10% now, we can give, if they fall short,
We can give-
we're
we can
all
give
in
more.
agreement.
Fine,
Jim.
2%, so.
Is there anybody that wouldn't vote to give 12.5?
No,
No.
absolutely.
So why don't we
You
give,
say your motion?
no, I'm going to propose we do 1,250,
And that is your
10% of
motion.
that. At this time today,
That's
yes.
your motion.
10% of their goal.
Yes.
Yes,
Is
we
there
are
a second?
committing
At this point in
10%
time.
today.
Second it!
Okay, then move second that we give PCI 10% of their matching goal that they seek in the amount of $1,250, is that what it is then?
Yes.
So we're gonna write a check this month
Yes.
for $1,250?
Yes.
Okay.
But we haven't voted yet, so we may not, because you know how this group is, you
I
can't trust them.
know. Well, all they gotta do is give me an invoice and I write them a check.
Okay, that'll work.
That's all you gotta do.
We have a
That we
motion and a
must.
second for $1,250. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Okay, I have a personal question to ask everyone. How many of you have, and this goes back to the Indiana State Fair, okay? How many of you have Indiana Farms Your Insurance that get this magazine? Do any of you? So
I
raise your
used
hand
to.
just so I
We
know.
switched our insurance.
Okay.
But it was great magazine. It was good
Okay,
read.
so just three of us, all right. I'm just asking.
You were
You
gonna,
don't pay my insurance.
Well, you know, what I do know is, I've been having lots of communications with Indiana From Your Insurance, because as you know, they're on the side of ISFA 1. And I'm learning more about this publication, its readability, and they have, in the last 2 or 3 years, if you've read their publication, they normally are having a feature each month, and it's a pay-to-play like what we do with other publications that we partner with.
Well, if you think it's worthwhile doing it.
I think it's worthwhile that people like Courtney and the marketing committee and all of us that do have Indian From Your Insurance, do we read this when it comes to your home?
When I had it, I did. I enjoyed
Is this something
it.
that we think would be something we would want to do accordingly? And I brought it just so that anybody that would want to take it to read that, or is not familiar with the publication, I think it's pretty well written. And I also know subtly that Travel In, the publication that we have been a supporter of every edition since they came out but one, they're helping collaborate and doing some of the stories.
Sounds good.
Okay? So I'm just FYI, if anybody would like to take that with them.
Are you on that with NISA? Is, who's gonna communicate with NISA that we've done that? You're gonna
You
communicate, okay?
got it right there on the.
Is that okay? I didn't,
Tell her.
okay,
Tell her
I'll let her
we
know.
voted to give them 10%, so we're gonna give them $1,250.
And then
Got
my
it.
final,
I'm on
As soon as she gets an invoice. to
As soon,
Diane.
okay, okay.
so, and then finally, under marketing, before we go to social media, I wanted to set up a marketing committee meeting when we would have all 5 of us and anybody else that wants to come to the meeting accordingly. And where would we host that at?
You want a marketing?
I want to set a
schedule?
marketing meeting, so at least the 5 of us.
What's wrong with your house? You got food, don't you?
I do.
I was
Okay.
gonna say, not this one, but the next marketing one, I will gladly host.
Well, and the reality of this is this has to be before the 27th of September. And in fairness to Courtney, the sooner we have it, it gives her a chance to do a mock-up, a
Yeah.
couple mock-ups and mail to all of us before we come back to the next meeting.
Throw out a date and see what they say.
I'm looking. What works
I'll
for
be
you?
thinking daytime.
I'm thinking if it's, depending on which day of the week would tell me the time
We
accordingly.
can also just meet here in Pepperidge if you want.
Okay.
Because I can.
What, give me a day and a time.
Jen,
What's that?
are like mornings, afternoons better for you?
If it can be a morning, that's good, because once I start
Okay.
pouring candles, I need to
Okay.
just be there, you know
How
how it
about,
goes.
I'm gonna
Keep
throw
going, keep cranking away.
How about September the 7th, which is a Thursday? What time do you want to meet here, Jen,
I can be here anytime after 8:30, after I drop the kiddos off.
Celia?
What time?
We're
8:30?
after
Anytime.
7, you wanna do
8:30?
9 or 8:30?
9?
Yeah.
9's good, I'm just saying anytime after
do
8:30 is good.
September,
7,
Diane?
okay, I'm good.
September 7th and 9, we'll do a CVC marketing meeting here.
At 9 a.m.
And if we don't have it here, we'll have it out there, or way out there, because we got privileges to the room. Okay, at Bridge 61.
Okay.
And the topic specifically for those that we're gonna work on the DNR ad, we're gonna work on the ISFA1 images, because we're gonna have a whole bunch of those on the vehicle out there, and I wanna talk about that. And then for
shoot.
those,
I'm sorry, the 7th is gonna work. I totally looked
okay,
wrong.
that's okay, but before you leave tonight, I want you to go out and look at the images that are out there, because the images that are on above what we call the bubble, that size above that, like the Bridgeton and the Rosedale, it'll be that size. They will not be smaller. The board committed to that through emails, all
All right,
right?
let's pick another day.
Does the 6th work?
Oh.
No, I can't do it on the 6th.
I can't do that till 6, not at 9 in the morning.
5th?
You can't do the
What
9th?
about the 5th?
I can't do the 5th. The 5th mornings I'm working, and the 4th I'm.
It's Labor Day.
It's Labor Day, and I'm Marshall, but
Weekend?
I'm in Friendship on those days.
Why don't you say what day you have and we'll.
Okay, I can do the morning of the 8th,
Friday,
Friday morning,
Okay,
Okay.
I can come.
9.
at 9.
9
Is that quick?
Okay.
Yeah, how long are you expecting it to be? I've got
No,
it.
not more than an hour.
Okay.
Well, I mean, these are the 3 topics, and the third topic is I wanted to talk about, because Nisa and I had a challenging discussion as when we hire Courtney to do the Parke County Cover Bridge Festival on the social media. Okay?
Wait, what? You have a
Okay,
challenge
the third
discussion?
thing is for the social media, we've hired you to do, we passed that last week. I asked Courtney what we were going to do with your new
Nisa?
plan. Nisa, excuse me, yes, Nisa, and I couldn't get an answer from her. So she said, the 2 of you, that we've already paid for it, we've already
What do you need
authorized
from
that.
her, I guess?
No, I need from you and her what we're going to do with with the plan that we wrote, that we purchased.
Oh, well, we already have I have a plan.
Well, share it with us.
Okay,
Yeah.
I've never done that before, so
Well,
okay.
I want to make sure that we have an emphasis on the smaller communities with what we said we were going to do on the
Yeah.
embarkation along with the big 3.
So
I want to make
have
sure
the
it's
whole-
not just
it
not the
was
big 3.
The whole
So
calendar.
Friday,
Yeah.
September
Yes.
8th at 9 a.m. here.
Yes, so I can't imagine it'll last more than an hour.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay, and those are the only 3 topics I have right now.
all right.
Okay.
Now we need
Social media?
social media.
Social media.
While you're setting that up, I just want to say we have had so many visitors. I'm sure you've seen it too, but I mean, I've had so many visitors from all over in the studio and in town in Rockville. I'm blown away
Great.
from everywhere. And I mean, it's just I've been on the square now for 2 years, and I mean, this past year, it's been, even in the winter,
Right.
it's obviously busier now, but I mean, even through the winter, so I just feel like,
Can you find
That-
out how they're finding out about, what are the publications?
Yeah.
And what are the social media things?
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are there,
yeah, I mean,
because we're going through more brochures and festival guides at the IGA too.
yeah,
But their store traffic is holding flat. But what that's telling me is, at least their store numbers are flat, but we're going through more brochures. So what's that mean? There's more visitors because it's not local people coming in to grab them.
yeah,
Maybe off the fountain trash rack, but not the rack out in the IGA.
yeah.
Why, while Courtney said that too, restrooms, that's come up so many times with Main Street, it's about making the county courthouse restrooms available. I've told Greg, he's come to the courthouse at least 3 times, you just need to come, bring a proposal that we can vote on and how it's gonna work. Now, they already have the insurance certificate to show they're covered, but we have to talk about how the agreement's gonna be. The new lady from the old jail was going to come over and pick up a key, but she couldn't pick up a key because we don't have an agreement with them. We've told Greg that three different times. And chances of them being open of an evening are slim to none, and the insurance just won't do that unless you're gonna have somebody there full time. We can justify during the week being open with courthouse being open, but once it's closed, then all that's gonna be on Main Street. And there's gonna have to be somebody, they don't have to be on site, but they have to be available and responsible if there's something that occurs. So if you have any contract with Main Street, you just gotta reiterate again, I already have, but you need it again. You need to come to a commissioner meeting with a proposal that we can sit down and agree how that's gonna work. We're not opposed to that, but we have to have some agreement, who's gonna be responsible, who's gonna do the cleaning every night, because we can't, it's not fair to put the cleaning or any expense on the county taxpayers to make things better for the business people in downtown Rockville. That's gotta be your responsibility. We're not opposed to using them, but we gotta have a plan, and we can't just give you a key without some plan, so we gotta have that.
What time do they need to be closed on the weekends?
Weekends, I think 9 to 5 is probably.
Yeah, I mean, most of the businesses
Yes.
close anyway, so it's just restaurants, and they have
Yes,
they have
their own.
restrooms anyway,
Yeah.
so.
And it's nothing to promise dates, it'll be an open-ended thing, because if it doesn't go well, we'll just shut them back down.
Sure.
I mean, our insurance will not like it at all, but as long as we have insurance showing that they're covered. We had them before where they were open all the time because we were living in ignorance, because ignorance was bliss, and Kentucky opened them all the time and closed them all the time, but then Ms. Ballinger insisted we put time on, insurance company says, well, I didn't even know you were doing that, you can't have those unmanned restrooms open. Well, anybody could go in there and say they got hurt, say they fell down, who would know? And sue us for that, so, you don't know. I had a guy one time, he was a security at the Bridge Festival, got mad at me because I told him he couldn't do that. He had some guy there who was homeless and every place to stay, so he just let him stay in the restrooms all night. It's like, you can't do that. I mean, the guy, anything could have happened to him, and then we'd be liable for that, so. In this litigious world, you just gotta make sure you have all those things nailed down, and that's that agreement is the only thing holding it up. If they can bring that, we would work that out and over that.
I haven't been able to make it to a meeting in months. They've moved them, but I do get the minutes, and so I mean,
That's the only thing.
if I see anything in the minutes, then I'll like that they're questioning
Just if
it
they
on
ask
it.
you, or she
Yeah,
asks you from the old jail.
yeah.
The only thing delaying is the fact we haven't got an agreement, and that's,
No, I just-
once we
Good
get that, we're good
info
to
to know. Yeah,
go. At least, for the weekends, like they went 9 to 5 is what I envisioned. I'm just
Yeah.
going vote, but that's what I see
yeah.
doing it, so.
And I'm just a member. I'm not.
Yeah, I
I'm
understand.
of it.
The other thing on bathrooms, Jim, respectfully, within the town of Rockville, as they move to the REMC building, and then they'll have the old town office, and then they have the community center, there has been some discussion about converting one of those facilities where it could be bathrooms. Either it be
Yeah,
the
that would
community
be
center or
nice.
part of
That would
that,
be nice.
and/or where the town hall is now could be converted, at least partially, to the community center and/or community center and bathrooms.
I can tell you almost, and you know, I travel a lot, almost every town we have to, like us, who has these type of things, they have public restrooms somewhere in the downtown area, and they're not in the courthouse. So. The courthouse is not a tourist center.
All right, so social media report from July 25th to yesterday. It was another great month. I'll do the recap since there's someone new here who doesn't hear this every month. So we post 4 to 5 times a week on Instagram and Facebook, and 3 times a week on TikTok, sometimes a little bit more. We create new video content, create events on Facebook, and we share others' events to our page. We boost events and posts through Facebook ads. We create short video content as well. Respond to messages and comments, share user-generated content, share impactful photos to create a visual brand, comment on user-generated content just to stay engaged with our users, promote shopping, food, and overnight stays, and historic elements, and then we also do 2 to 3 emails a month. On Instagram, it was another really good month. We're up 1,128 followers, so getting close to the 12,200 mark. Our #1 post of the month was, have you booked your stay for the Parke County Covered Bridge Festival yet? So this communication has also come from our last meeting about reminding people to book lodging, even if Bridge Festival is mostly already booked, still reminding people for fall getaways or whatever may be.
We have a lot of smaller properties that are still not filled.
Okay, that's good to know. See, and that tell them to use the Facebook group, because that's,
Do
yeah,
you
Tammy's
happen to
utilizing
have a
it.
list?
Thank you, Tammy.
Well-
Thank you for approving.
I know for a fact that the 2 canoe places that have cabins are not filled, neither is Gobbler's Knob. None of them are full all 9 nights. That's
Okay,
fact.
that's good
Okay.
to know. Good to know.
I know those, not, and then the other one I know that had rooms were the ones, were the, Granny's Farmhouse is not sold out, and neither is Wilton Mills. Meaning they both have 2 properties.
Tammy, have you innkeepers, I don't even know if you know the others or talked to them or anything, is there any kind of organization of you innkeepers that you could think about posting a web?
No, and that's
page?
one of the things that I asked for, is if we could somehow get communication just between all of us
Just to post
to-
more openings you have?
to just, somebody keep a being clearinghouse
Yeah.
with what is still available.
Why don't we ask Lisa to provide to you, and you be our clearinghouse, and she provide you all the emails and all the names of all the lodging facilities?
So I be the clearinghouse?
Do you want to do the clearinghouse? You want to do
Because
that?
I have all the time in the world there.
If you could just post a page or create a page that had places to stay in Parke County, and then the individual places could do their own posting if they would, keep up with what they have available. And would that,
I
like
mean,
that work?
Would it work if I did get the communication, Courtney, and just me posted onto the Facebook page?
I didn't-
And like I did for me,
I didn't
just
mean on
saying,
our Facebook page, I just meant to create a Facebook page of that, of those
I think
entities.
you might want them to,
I don't know if they aren't communicating to anybody besides Doug, are they going to post it to Facebook?
I don't think they will.
Yeah,
But if they didn't, then that's on them rather than
Yeah.
on anybody else.
it is,
'Cause I was surprised how many
but
people
it would also be good for all the other lodging that are getting the phone calls saying, do you know who else has places?
They're not communicating with other people, Tammy, it's all,
Right.
you know.
But they might, if they knew this was a viable thing, it would work. If they would get their places filled because they did this, then they might do it again.
As marketing chair, I used to have an email list of all the lodging facilities I used to get those updates. I'd send out ads, this is what we're doing, and I got almost no feedback, virtually none. Except people that complained that, well, you promote so-and-so more than me. Well, no shit.
Kathy Darkwater used to do all that for us.
Uh-huh.
Well, yeah, and she was always frustrated because they would try to put things out and nobody would respond, so they wouldn't be on.
So who did you
whatever
say,
put,
Granny's
then
and
they'd be stressed
Wilkins
because
Mill?
They weren't included, but they wouldn't ever say anything back to her, yeah.
Sugar Valley
And
Canoes.
the canoe, and Gobbler's Knob.
And Turkey Run Canoe and Camping, they have those 3 cabins, and then Gobbler's Knob. Virtually, the only place up north that's full is Turkey Run Inn.
Okay,
So what's the plan?
we don't have one.
So you're not gonna start a Facebook page?
No.
we already
We already
have
have
a
it,
Facebook
but-
group. It's just, I think we need,
I
maybe,
can try read it.
if you do anything, maybe
I
it's just
can reach out to them
emailing
again.
the lodging people and telling them, hey, here's
This is
you should utilize this.
this is a resource that you need to use.
Yeah. Okay, so this is the video I was talking about.
George was just amazed that he was on this, I want you to know. He was just
Well,
amazed.
it is a really cute clip.
It is.
Like, you just want to be there with him. Like, you just want to hang out with him and drink his cider. Yeah, so that's it. I'm glad I pulled it up because it's really fun reading the comments. Like, you guys can read this, but there's lots of really cute stories that come from, I don't know if you can read it. Just so precious. So, yeah. Okay, back to this. So, yes, that was number 1. Number 2 was a Welcome to West Union covered bridge video. So, it was walking through the entire video. And you guys can see again, the reels are the 2 top performing, so we'll make sure to keep utilizing those and reaching non-followers with those. And then the 3rd post was the 75 days till Indiana's largest festival. And exciting, tomorrow is 50 days.
Really?
So that post, we know will do well.
You think so?
Only 50 days.
Yes.
Take that back, take that back.
I know, it's scary.
Not right.
I have to tell you a story. This past 2 weeks ago, I won't tell you what festival it is. She told me they started the 5 days. They did the 5-day countdown. I thought, she said, well, when did you guys start in Parke County? I said, well, I know you did
100 days?
100. She thought I was kidding. I said, we don't do it every day, but we have the countdown and it starts, the first one's 100, right?
Yeah.
You didn't do 125 or 150, did you?
No.
No.
100 probably.
She couldn't believe it. They were so proud they do it in 5 days every day. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 tomorrow.
All right, it was a really, really good month on Facebook. We're up 3,500. So we're up to 76,000 page likes, and we have a lot more page followers, but this is the number that we've been tracking for the last, I don't know however many years I've been doing this. So that's the one I keep sharing. So you can see our reach did really well. Facebook visits.
Yeah.
And then I did the comparison that we all like to see sometimes, where we stand to some other Facebook pages.
Look at the growth
Our
of
growth.
people.
Look at the change in likes compared to Visit Indiana. Whew.
That's right.
We're
Or
getting
Visit
there.
Indy.
We're making
Or
progress.
visit Indy.
Yes.
Or look, respectfully, look at Bloomington and some of the
No,
other big
not
towns.
competitive at all. Yeah, so it is fun to see, and it's fun to see how many, also how much content was published. So this is really, it always reminds me that it's quality over quality over quantity. There we go. Yeah, so you can kind of look at all of these in the email, but
Good job, Courtney.
Yes.
If you will, scroll back up, I will point out one thing, okay? Because if you look at the Festival Association, there's 59, that means there's 59 festivals in that time period that are at 425 or higher. That's what that means, because anybody at 425 or higher gets one, and if you're at 825 or higher, you get 2. So that means next year that's going to be even bigger, because we'll have all of our events at 825 within the association.
Shoot, speaking of that, I didn't want to forget, Ron did say they are having the tractor drive.
Oh, good.
So they
They
are.
are?
Yes.
Okay.
So
That means someone's got to put that in, because it's not in yet. I mean, we're getting, yes.
Yeah, okay. All right, and then, let's see, so our top posts was again the 75 days. So I mean, that's no shocker. We always know that the countdowns always do extremely well. So, over 1 million post reach. You can see all the link clicks, comments, shares, reactions. So really, really good post.
Yeah, go back up to the visuals. What I really thought this one was really good because it says the essence of what we are. It's the #1 food that sells on the square. It's Mansfield, it's got bridge, and it's got covered bridge in Rockville. I just thought this was really, really good content visually when I went through it, guys.
Yes, and
We
then-
dreamed of this 5 years ago.
And then again, it always sometimes I forget how important our covered bridges are, honestly, and then I'll post something like this, not necessarily expecting it to do as great as it does, but people just love our bridges, especially the really long ones like West Union. So again, it was just a really good reminder.
Doug.
So
Didn't hear
380,000
that.
post reach, it's another really good one. And
It
then
is.
number 3 was welcome to Bridgeton. So I'm going to start sprinkling in all of the different location features, and people always get excited about Bridgeton. And this is one of our new photos from last year, which I think is just absolutely
That's awesome.
gorgeous. So
Yeah. It's really awesome.
yes. And then our Facebook group, excited to share, we're up to 22,000 members, over 22,000 members now. So it is definitely being actively used, and people continue to join all the time. So keep an eye on that. TikTok, it was a really good month for TikTok as well. We're up 190 followers, 27,000 video views this last month. So it's been doing really well. I won't get into like the nitty gritty, but carousel images have actually been performing really well on TikTok versus videos, which is funny because it's a video platform, but whatever. So yeah, another good month there. This is the reminder. I just want us to a recap and a reminder, I guess, of what we're doing. And I know we talked about if there's other things we need to do in addition to this. I plan on getting some proposals from some different entities that we've maybe done before, maybe just gotten proposals from before, like Addison from Keep Indie. He reached out and asked if we'd be interested, and I was like, send a proposal. So he'll be sending something. I also thought about, there's just like a couple other news stations, you know, just getting a grouping of proposals that we can all look at basically and compare. So hopefully I'll have that all done next month and we can look at those. But so a reminder of what our plan is: email for each Bridge Festival location. We're adding additional social posts to our main accounts. So we're going from the 5 that we do now to the 6 to 7 a week in September and October. We're also sharing in Facebook groups in those local communities. And then we're doing 3 posts a week during September and October to our Facebook group, which is now over 22,000 members. We're doing 1 post a week to our Facebook event page. And then we're doing our additional ad strategy that we approved last time. And then that is an error. It should not be summer fall hikes. But yeah, so this is pretty much our running list of upcoming strategy things that we continue to do. Questions? Concern videos?
I did notice the things we asked you to do last month was a little bit more emphasis on the lodging. I've noticed that. It'll be interesting to see in a couple months how that correlates with our collections. Obviously, we had another record month. We're on a heck of a record year right now on monthly collections, as we saw earlier from the treasurer's report. I just think the vibrancy is pretty impressive. Okay.
Good job, Courtney.
Any questions for Courtney on social?
Cindy, was it 05 versus Bernie? Back open in 06?
So,
So I was thinking, it's been 20 years, I think that'd be a good thing to promote to people there, so.
Yeah.
Our 20th anniversary will be 2025, and I even thought that I'd like to have a celebration and have the people on the committee, but also Bridge and Covered Bridge Association there and the people really involved with creating that. I mentioned that just at the PCI event over the weekend, and it got some applause from people who, they just don't realize it. That I said, we didn't just hire somebody in New England to come build a bridge. The community built this bridge. The community did this. So I think we need to celebrate that. It is quite a story. So we need to celebrate that. So I thought maybe we should think about organizing and funding some kind of a celebration for that. I think it'd be good for innkeepers to do that.
When's that?
In 2025. Okay. So we got a year or two to think about that.
We got a little time.
That reminds me. Oh, go
We
ahead.
could do that on a time when we don't have anything, or do this in collaboration with something that's in Bridgeton, not during the Bridge Festival.
Well, I think it should be a summer event when people
Like-
can come and it's
So war days, or the milling
Yeah.
days, or something leading up to the
just
fall.
has to be a one night event, but you can make a week out of it or a weekend out of it and have stuff at the mill and that kind of thing. And
judging by how the birthday celebration at the mill did, I think it could be a standalone event.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty impressive on the 4th.
Yes, it was.
Fair enough?
Because it was a
People were
weekday.
very
It was a weekday,
excited
and
about it.
we were both surprised how many were there.
And we could do some things leading up to, or we could do clips of trees and all, everything donated stuff, and how the whole county came together. I thought it was great with all the school buses of kids that are watching doing that, pick it up and go. So I think we ought to consider that. But we got time to think about that, but I think it'd be a good thing.
That's a great idea.
Okay.
I want to give you an example of a missed opportunity. At the state fair, we don't know what the final results on attendance are, but there were some days early on when they had poor attendance, it's pretty clear, and some traffic issues and those kinds of things, though the free concerts would work. But do you know what was coincidental this year was the 15th anniversary of the Indiana State Fair Covered Bridge, and there was no celebration.
Oh,
And that would have been an easy one that, you know, we ought to be thinking about on the 20th. We ought to celebrate them having the covered bridge in 20 years, in 5 years. We should be thinking about other people's bridges and take advantage of them, no different than other people take advantage of our 31. We should have been out promoting, hey, it's the 15th anniversary of the Indiana State Fair covered bridge. People in Parke County designed and built it, as we know. And, oh, by the way, the Covered Bridge Festival is so many days away.
Okay, that's good things.
On the bridges, I was at Britton Winery and they're doing a Locks of Love. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's you purchase the lock and then they put it over on the bridge and it's to raise money for it. So I asked them where they were, like what organization they were through that the money was going to, and Terry said he didn't know, they are raising money, he wasn't sure, needed to find out where that should go, and I said I would ask since I'm on the CVC.
He asked if there was a fund, and there is. I told him that, but we didn't have much time to talk. He was busy, obviously.
Yeah.
There's a covered bridge repair fund. That's where those things should go. How does that work, the locks? What does it do? How does he do that?
I was just there to have my glass of wine, so I did not partake in the lock people were talking about it, and what it looked like. There's just, you can purchase a lock. You can put your name on it if you want, or if
Padlock thing, or what?
Yes, it's a it's a padlock.
It's like they do on that bridge in Paris.
I don't know what they do. What do they do?
It's the Lovelock Bridge.
Yeah.
And so then you just go and lock it on near their
Couples thing.
The bridge. You put your name and
then you
signify
lock
your
it.
love forever.
Hook 'em to, they put
Your
put
lock,
the bar
your
up.
love.
I'm assuming I didn't go out to the bridge that they're, where they're locking them. I didn't purchase one. I just saw it, and then I was just curious, like where, what are you raising? What is it specifically raising?
He made a little bridge.
Oh, a little.
Yeah, his, I'm sorry,
Oh,
his
okay.
at the, at the winery. I'm sorry,
He made his own little bridge.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
just,
yeah,
but it's to raise money to repair the
Yeah, and
bridges.
that's what he asked if there was a fund, and there is. So
Okay.
there's a covered bridge repair fund. So
And is that through where? I mean, who's that through?
County.
The county.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sure I'll go back out for another glass of wine and
Yeah,
I'll let him
yeah,
know. But I just told him I would
contact
ask.
Commissioners or the auditor, either one, and there's a
Yeah.
fund for that. So
Yeah, I'm just always, if there's a fundraiser and I'm always curious, like especially like where's that go?
and he asked, and that's great to have that.
Yeah.
And when we had this celebration thing, and actually I'll give him some too. We had lots of those DVDs left. Not that anybody has DVD players anymore, but they're all DVDs. But it's a great story of how that was done. Our whole community coming together.
Yeah.
So we can pass those out as well. So.
Yeah. No, that would be neat. I'm sure he'd like that. He was excited that I would, was gonna. So okay,
I
so
had
through the
boxes,
county.
yeah.
Okie dokie.
Anybody got anything else? Alrighty.
You ready for the statement?
Yeah, shoot right back.
It is Montezuma's 200th birthday this year. So we'll be trying to do something special in town over the festival.
What is it?
Her 200th birthday.
Oh,
Rockville's next year.
Yeah, 24.
so cool.
So is Montezuma really getting a new bar and restaurant?
Yep.
Yep.
Yes, we
It's
are.
right on the river.
On the river, it's gonna put us on the map.
Yep.
Yeah,
It looks like they're doing a lot of work there.
Nathan Gill.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Is he
It
related to
is-
Andy Gills over there?
Pardon me?
Is he related to the Montezuma Gills? I mean,
Yeah, Andy
okay.
Gill, Andy and Patty.
So where's this gonna be at?
Right on the river, across from Mark Jeffrey's garage, where the
It's
Brews,
right by the Green
where the
Bridge.
Brews building was.
Just north of
Yeah.
the 36.
Yeah.
On the bridge side, between the
North of the
road and the river.
Right on
That'd
Water
be good for
Street.
you
I can sit
too.
on Judy's
Yeah.
porch and watch that go on.
Oh, I bet you
That's fun.
can.
You
Yeah.
know, that's,
Oh, cool.
but they've been moving dirt and trees. and-
It's looking very nice.
Good.
But
He-
they've got
he-
a lot of
he's-
equipment inside they've got to get out of there before they can,
Yeah, it looks like a giant press or something in there.
yeah, it's all metal,
Yeah, a lot of metal
metal
got a lot
stuff
of
work.
stuff.
and big heavy stuff.
That one
You guys
thing
have
looks,
probably looked at it
it's,
too.
it's way to
Guess
just
Rockville's
round.
getting McDonald's. That
Well,
came out
there
in
you
the-
go.
That came out in the Rockville
That's in
Townhouse meeting
Rockville.
last night.
Oh, for real?
I haven't watched the meeting and I just caught that part when I was putting the video together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rockville's getting
You said it was happening?
Yes.
Okay, not just rumor that it was happening.
Where?
but
They got a letter from whoever the
Oh,
building and stuff.
where
is
will
on.
it be?
Across
I
from
don't know.
Casey's.
Foster Casey's,
Oh.
within walking distance to the high school.
Okay, sure. That
Just
makes
amazing,
sense.
but it's that far from 41.
Yeah, that shocks me.
Me too. Okay, Doug, why don't you introduce our guest here tonight?
I'll let her introduce herself. She's the big dog at
Oh, I am
IDPC.
such a big dog.
I met some of you last year. I think I was like a day into my new role in advertising sales. And Corey Peterson, I think, was the other woman you were, and Mary Claire. And I worked with both.
Oh, really?
And,
Doing what?
kind of similar.
Okay.
She's promoting the her park.
Yes.
Yes. So I found out that you worked together, and yeah, I was super interested. She's a great girl too. So thanks for letting me talk to you guys, and I realized that I didn't bring one of my guides in, but I'm sure you are familiar with these. So just thought it would be nice just to have them as a point of reference. But Doug and I were speaking about whether you have full or first.
I probably should know your name, but I don't.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Nancy Jacobson, and I'm with.
Okay, is that with the
Visit-
E or an O?
Oh,
She's the one who put it down, so she just wanted to make sure she got it right.
yes, the
And
minutes.
the minutes too. So
Thank
thank you very much. Sorry to bother you.
I really do need to introduce myself, I guess. So the conversation that Doug and I had on the phone, and we've spoken about it throughout the year, and you have first right of refusal on the travel guide back cover, as well as an advertorial. And I think it's worked really well for you over the years, so.
You can, some ancillary questions, and number one, you're printing how many again? Next year, 300,000. And they'll come out in March, not January, correct?
Correct.
And just so that this group recognizes that historically they came out in January and they were available for the Boatport Travel Show in January. And now it'll be a year-old one. So as we go forward in our ads, we need to be mindful that if we're going to do this, which I expect we will, that we put we got to be thinking that we're buying this for 24, it'll be at the 25 Indianapolis Boatport Travel Show, so we should be putting 2 years of dates on the Cover Bridge Festival and in all of our copy as well.
You're always thinking.
Well, no, respectfully, on that. We know that,
It's a great idea. Yeah, thank you.
correct me, yeah, the numbers that you're mailing out are going down, and the one that you're giving out at visitor center and at promotions that IBDC is doing is going up, correct?
I'm gonna have to confirm that with Amy,
Well-
and Noel.
Right, from what I see when I'm out with ISFA 1, because now I'm stopping at all the visitor centers, welcome centers, I report, as you know, I report my festival role, what I'm seeing on the rack, meaning I have a vested interest, as we do, is the travel guide there specifically, and is the festival guide there, as it relates to Parke County. And then if it's not, then I text Noel immediately if they're not there, and then I CC that in a separate text to Amy, which is Noel's boss,
Yeah,
correct?
yes.
Yes.
She's the director of marketing, yes.
Correct, yes.
So you've seen it, you've just seen the
We've
request go
seen,
down?
we've seen here with the commission, and we haven't got our report yet from IDC on the number of labels that we've gotten, one, and we don't know where we rank, which historically we've always been in the top 2 or 3 on brochure requests with our partnership with Putnam County. Okay, again, that's through IBDC, part of what we purchase. Okay.
When do you usually get those numbers, or when do you usually get that?
I have not seen those. The labels actually go to Eric at Putnam County, and
Right.
right, and the other ones go to NISA at PCI. Remember, we're not PCI, we're the Parke County CVC.
Yeah.
Okay, so
And I
that's
just
numbers that I have not seen. The last time I asked NISA for them, she didn't have numbers. You're here. You have access to those numbers pretty good, and you report to us on this. So.
Okay.
The other thing is that it was reported at ITA, which is the Indiana Tourism Association, at their annual meeting, that their digital views have gone up on their flip books over the last few years. Correct?
I can't confirm that either.
That's what the IDDC chair, Lane Bedell, said that they go up. So
She
I'm-
did?
Yeah,
Okay.
she did say that
Then
to all of
yes,
us.
that
at
is
South.
correct.
So.
I would not doubt
We're
that.
getting those page views and things like this. What I did tell Nancy is that we need it's not fair respectfully to Courtney, who we hired, though she's a commission member, to give us short dates and short turnaround times
Oh.
of that. We need to know, there's no reason that you cannot articulate that information to this commission so we can give it to Courtney, who we contract with to do our work, as you see.
Yes.
That she can get that to you months in advance and it's ready to roll, right?
But
It's not fair.
it's really a courtesy to you that we have so many photos of your event and what you're promoting at this time of year, and we also have the information, so we can put it together. It's more of a courtesy to you if you want to update.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, thank you.
And
Because what we also know is
Yeah,
that
because
we're.
we get new photos every year, so like we have new aerial ones from last year, so we're like, we gotta use them as much as possible.
Right. And the other thing that we know, there's another Covered Bridge Festival in the state that is not the Parke County Covered Bridge Festival, and they snicker because 20% of their attendance, that their Covered Bridge Festival, they thought they were coming to ours. So we have all been about branding, always now, as Indiana's largest festival, the Parke County Covered Bridge Festival. We have done that in virtually everything that we're doing now. And you saw me correct that when you saw the
Yes.
thing. I could have cared less about everything else, but it has to say always
Brand.
Parke County Covered Bridge Festival. You know,
it's all about the brand.
well,
It really is.
For us, increasingly it is, because when you hear somebody boast that 20% of our people are coming to see us or really want to go see you, they've been snickerdoodled from my perspective in that they're saying Covered Bridge Festival and they're liking that to the Parke County, and there's a big difference.
And it's just not with another county, so you understand too. Even the region around the town, Mansfield, Bridgeton, other places, they can't say Mansfield Covered Bridge Festival or Bridgeton Covered Bridge Festival. It's always Parke County Covered Bridge Festival at Mansfield or at Bridgeton or those kind of things. So-
Okay.
So that brand is very important. to do
Yeah,
that.
it should be.
Yeah.
And I understand that, and so we'll get you a bigger, way bigger lead time, when you, actually, you could probably, just depends on what you decide, if you want to continue to do the newsletter things to do and the festivals and events, which is, I think, so good for your
Right.
particular event.
So do you have a price list for us?
I do, and we haven't increased our prices, so they'll be the same as last year. Just how it goes. Yeah, you can go ahead and pass those down that way. I'll have you guys share, so I can just look at my copy here. Oh, sorry. Thank you. So what you opted for last year was the back cover, the advertorial, and the brochure lead gen, which you partnership with Eric at Putnam.
So that 2,700 is half the amount?
That is the total amount, so that it would be half of that.
Okay, so
Your
we need-
portion would be half of the
Half of this
2,700.
amount.
And this is just a mock-up agreement of what it looked like last year.
Because our invoice would have been half of that 2,700.
Right.
Right. But you see that this is just for the purposes of you to see the pricing on this, and I assumed that you would want to partner with Eric again, or with Putnam County, so it's really very basic, and if anyone kind of wants to look at what this is an
That's the
advertorial.
advertorial. Last year we changed the pictures and we changed the copy
You
slightly.
want to pass it
We
around?
updated our
for any
photos.
reason?
Yeah, but
Right here.
Sorry.
Here's advertorial.
Because Courtney, you reworked the copy and you updated the two photos,
So we pay
right?
$8,000 for that.
Yes, that's $8,000
For this right here.
for that half-page advertorial, yes.
And then the 27.3 is the back cover.
It's the back cover.
Okay.
And last year, we had the discussion of, were we going to, because the
Okay,
year.
here, let me just stop you real quick. So included in the 27.3 3 number, you also get $10,000 worth of added value ads. So basically,
The digital, are those the digital or are those?
those are the,
10,000?
you can use the 10,000 on whatever you'd like to, but you just know the value of the advertorial is 8,000, so you could use that portion for the advertorial.
Oh, I see.
For this
See,
year
forward.
right now, is it all towards digital ads or what did we choose? That's
Last year, we,
We're
Yeah,
all,
sorry,
well,
the current
last year we
year.
took the 10,000 and we took the advertorial at 8 of the 10.
So then we have the two, so, okay,
And
like what
then,
you said,
and
the two.
then, let's look at the budget sheet. That would tell us,
So then if we had 2,000 left, but that would cover then the.
that would cover,
No,
I
that
was
would
just
be
wondering
last.
no,
But
and
you
we
would-
also bought some,
Here, this is last year. There it goes.
so last year to the IDDC, we paid 24.9 in actual cash.
Okay.
Okay? So that was actual cash that we sent out. So if you base that on what we're seeing.
wait, what are you looking at?
Our checks that we wrote here,
I'm just looking at IDDC
it's 24.9.
for May of, maybe I'm looking at the wrong.
You're looking at the.
You're
No, I'm looking at
you're
the
looking at this year.
expenditures.
This is this year.
Oh, okay.
This one is from last year.
See, we normally, this,
I better have that one. Here,
well,
we have extra. There's, it's a whole.
so but she might be right here. She passed, where's this year's at?
It's in the packet.
If we look at the packet this year, which we had earlier in the meeting, we paid the state 27.3. Correct. So that's the 27.3 there, and that's all the actual cash. That was the year before. So we went from 23 to 27, which was partially an increase in what they had done with us. Okay, so we took the 10,000 and we applied that to the advertorial, and 2,000 of that went,
Or half of 2,700.
half, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Okay, so the 8,000 isn't
27.3, we get
additional,
all those
it's
things in the big
it's
track.
It can be
part of
used,
that, okay.
it can be
Right,
used
we-
on the advertorial,
we'll-
it can be used on any.
Generation ad, like that we partner with Putnam.
Yes.
So then we
Yes.
still have, so between that and the 8,000, we still have some left.
And we,
And then we used the balance of that on some additional,
Digital, was there some digital?
there was additional digital that we got throughout the year.
So if we paid the
I don't remember, that's
27.3,
what I was.
Yeah.
and I also brought price lists for the digital, and that's probably just getting too far into the,
Do you have a digital packet that of what we used, our photo? I mean, like obviously the back and this and all, but like the digital stuff that we just to remind, like do we?
Yeah.
photos, the
That's what I-
media, is that what you're
Well, that's
asking?
what I was asking, Jen, like, yeah, what
We
did you
have
all do digitally for us?
Yeah.
Well, we did newsletters.
Well, I know what they did, at least we got 1/4 of the space that they got and they purchased with the Indiana State Festival Association. Because if you look at the festival guide specifically, let me find that page. They featured 4 festivals in Indiana,
They
which
used
is on
the
page,
digital money for that?
no.
No, the extras.
No.
So
Okay.
did we, if we did any digital, like it would be good to
Right,
know
but
what we did and
this ad here, they put in the festival guide, the state did this cost us nothing.
I don't think you paid any additional
No, we
dollars for any
didn't,
digital.
no, but it's part of the digital package that you're offering
Right,
us.
right.
Meaning this comes in digital form, because this specific ad, just like this, just didn't appear in the festival guide. It appeared at other places also digitally.
So then we would probably want to know, like especially Courtney, I'm guessing, right? You would want to know where to access that digitally,
Yeah.
so that you
Yes.
can share it on our social media, right,
I mean, I
platforms.
would like, yeah, to see what.
Yeah.
it
And-
was.
And then they had at least one electronic billboard that respectfully, you have electronic billboards that on I-65 south of Indianapolis, and one of those had the bridges and covered bridges
cool.
said Parke County Government Bridge Festival. I saw that last
Why don't
September,
you take a
October.
picture, dang it? I want to see it.
Surely you're in traffic.
so Jen, we would have.
You could have
the
pulled
27
IFSA
the
one
20
over on the side of the highway and taken a picture.
The 27.3, we would pay the 27.3, that would cover the advertorial, and it would cover we owe $13.50 for the, our half of the 2,700, that would still leave us with $650 to do on something else.
Right, okay.
I would really love for you to consider possibly a mobile footer close to a mobile footer advertisement, which would be really great timing before the next festival.
Mobile footer on your digital,
Our digital site.
Just a
Our-
scrolling.
our
oh, on
website.
your, that constant,
Visit
it's
India.
constantly going. How much is that?
900 for a,
So it's
So
almost
just over
paid
the
for.
650.
Yeah.
Do you have one on the site right now?
yes, if you, well, actually, anybody could pull
And
it
they
up.
just sent out their electronic stuff for fall. We were the feature. I sent that out yesterday. Is that right? Day before?
Yeah.
I forwarded it. So that was part of that
Yeah, I
package
was
that we
looking on
got.
their website and I was just curious what, I just see the Instagram feed.
Because when you click it, it goes into our website and went to the
So
video.
right, so this is an example, if you want to pass this around, of what the mobile footers that are running right now on our website.
Okay.
And then
So-
how often do they go
And
through?
we only have 4 rolling at a time, so.
And a time is like a time frame, like a how
So
many months?
it stays no matter where they click on your
Stays throughout
website.
the quarter.
Through the quarter. Okay, so the $900 covers 3 months' time.
Yes.
A
So the
footer.
$900 is still just $250 more on top
So
of
we would
27, we would cover all of that, so.
We would just need to decide what would be
Yeah.
the best quarter
Yeah.
to put our stuff in.
Let me find it here.
Got it.
Or you could buy
Yeah,
two.
you can, you
buy
could
two
also
quarters.
pay for it monthly as well, so you
No,
could
we're gonna
choose.
write one check for everything, right, Diane?
I'm, no, I'm saying you could just opt for 1 month if you thought that that might be.
Well, I think quarterly is a good way to go, and what I was saying was we could even do more than 1 quarter. Can we change the content from 1 quarter to the next?
Just go around.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can we change the content?
sure can.
Oh, see, so we can pick 2 different things.
I have Visit Madison.
Why don't we add this? Can you have more of these that you could
I
send?
do, I brought them all.
Okay,
Actually,
why don't you give me
I just wanna load
5,
everybody
and
up
we'll give
with
them to the
paper.
5 marketing members, and we'll put this on the marketing agenda for our meeting.
Okay, good.
Is that fair?
I just
For
think,
everybody?
I think of you whenever I think of this mobile footer. It's our most.
Are people like tapping it to click on stuff? Do you have
We
the
have
analytics on that?
Yes.
Can you
And
send
we can
us-
give it to you.
Like, give
We
us
can
an
give you
example.
a monthly analytic
Yeah,
breakdown of how many impressions, how many clicks.
yeah. Or can you send us one of like a recent?
I can.
Yeah, just so we
I
can see
actually
that
am
would be
working
cool.
with Visit Madison. Sarah Praisel, she's really,
Courtney has a question on your page, how to get to it. Click on the spot.
Go ahead, you're first.
I'm just wondering so on your website, what is the process and, because I see like DeKalb County is on here.
are you, which tab are you in, regions and cities?
I'm just, yes, cities and regions.
We're building that, and that is because of all the $20 million that we were awarded this year by the state, that is free. So we're going through and building each city and region.
So will Parke
you
County
will,
be a-
Parke
okay.
County will be eventually
When?
there.
When will we be there?
So we are your back cover.
You are. And you're actually
We
my
are your favorite.
Really, you are.
Can you bump us up on the list?
Amy will be like, oh my God.
Here goes Doug again, that's what she'll say.
Anytime next week would be.
This
good.
is your sales,
Okay, all right, I'll get working on
okay,
that.
this is your sales piece, right?
Yes.
And this was not custom made for us tonight, was it?
That wasn't, but I do have one that
No, but
was.
what I'm
Why?
gonna show
Oh,
you-
you're gonna show the picture.
No, on the state piece, there's 2, 4, 6 pictures. In Park County's 3 of them, folks.
Isn't that nice?
Okay? The only thing
So
would
we
make,
should
the only thing that would
It's
make
always
this nicer.
So we
advertising for
should
you.
probably be on the cities and regions tabs.
Yeah.
You're saying.
Probably.
We're gonna work on that for next week.
Let's kind of do this in some kind of a method as we go.
Hey.
So I think, let me get us where we are. Let me say what I want to say, and you
Okay.
can throw in whatever you want into it. We're talking about the 23.7. The 23.7 would get us the top, that would get us the advertorial, that would get us all but 350, that would get us all of the brochure. We have $650 left. If we went to $900 for a quarter of the subtitle things, the scrolling things, that'd be $350. So we would have to come up with $350 to cover, or $250 to cover that much.
Haven't we
So we're
already
talking
done?
about doing those things for sure, is what I'm hearing. Now, what else were you looking
I
at?
was gonna make a motion that we commit tonight to 27.3, and after tonight, and vote on it.
For 24.
For 2024, so we're
Okay.
gonna buy we're gonna
So the
secure-
price isn't gonna change?
It's
No,
not.
it's
Okay.
not, right, there's no price increases.
Okay, gotcha.
So that we.
We don't
commit-
make any money on
We
it.
commit to IDDC, we're gonna stay on the back cover,
Okay.
okay?
Is there a reason not to commit now to the,
So that she knows that it's committed, it goes off, that's no longer for sale. I want the state, I want IDDC to know
we
tonight.
can do it all, is there a reason not to go
No,
with
we can
it?
do more next month.
Okay,
Meaning, at least do this, and then the marketing committee will meet and talk about how much more digitally we want to do, because I think we're all in agreement with the new 3% increase that we're going to get, that we're going to put, respectfully, Courtney and I at least philosophically agree, we're going to put most of this new marketing money that we have in one of two places, and most of it's going to go digitally. We've already, all of us is committed to this. As you may not know, we are committed to growing our Facebook page another 10,000 people above and beyond what the state grows to.
okay, now we're talking digits, we were talking about the mobile rolling at the bottom of their ad. Is there a reason not to add that extra $250 to cover that as well this time? That's what I'm getting at. You're talking about the 27.3, but for 27,550, we could do all of these things and that.
I'm going to go a step farther. I'm going to, at the marketing committee, I was going to say I want to buy one of those for every quarter. We have major events in
So
every quarter.
28,
Huh?
28.3.
Yeah,
And that's 900.
900 a quarter.
$900 a quarter should be another $3,600.
Oh, it's 900 a quarter? Who said
Mm-hmm.
250?
Yes.
Because
Well,
we have.
We got
Oh, okay,
Right, so
for-
it's not,
okay.
it's going to be 4 times 900 minus the money.
Okay.
36 minus 250, which would be
Gotcha.
3,450.
So of
3,350.
our new funds from our new 3%, I'm committed that much more strategy, at least with the state, to digital, above.
That's what I was trying to get at. We may as well do that with one check, so we don't have to do that quarterly every time.
But we don't get the check, we don't have to write the check until February or March, correct?
Right.
Right.
Okay.
So see.
And
so
all
you-
But we just need to let her know.
Quarters are available.
7-3.
To-
I need to
Is there a
check,
So
I need to
she's,
check and make sure that we have all quarters available.
Okay.
If that's something.
For the-
If we get that back,
For
we
the
can decide
scrolling.
next month on that, and I think the intent is to purchase one for each quarter if they're available.
I second it.
do we have, I mean, is there a
You want
time?
to do that tonight too?
Hang on a second, let's get this
Absolutely.
first. It's been moved and seconded that we approve the 27.3 to get the 4 items listed on the 3 things listed on the page there. Any more discussion on those 3 things? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, so we're writing a check for 27.3, and it's going to cover those things. That will leave us a balance then of $650. Now, you want to go ahead and make a motion to
Do each of the 4 quarters.
Each of the
We
4
would be
quarters
running
at
4 quarters for
$900
all
per
4
quarter.
quarters.
If they're available.
If they're available.
Okay. Is there a second for that?
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to purchase, if available, one-fourth of each of the 4 quarters at $900 per quarter, with the understanding that we'll have a $250 balance going into that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
So then so I take it then because we've approved that, once you let us know if all 4 quarters are available, then we don't have to wait on this next month
No,
or do
no.
anything
What we
on.
will do, the marketing committee and then the commission will agree what we're going to do digitally with them as far as what our images
what the-
and
what the
we're gonna
footer
do
will
each
be.
quarter.
And then you
and-
can,
How would you like to let us know if those quarters are available, so we can send you a check all on one
I have
time?
my laptop here because I wanted to be able to confirm what we had
Yeah.
in our inventory, but I did not bring my cord and
Okay.
it's out of battery. So I could get back to Doug
And I'll forward
via
it to you.
email
That'd be perfect. If it's
tomorrow
okay to
morning.
wait for the next check, then we'll put it all together, so we would
Okay.
do the 27.3.
Well, it's not due until next February,
Right. And
I know, but I thought we were gonna write one check for
Yeah,
the
in February.
in February.
Okay,
you can write it whenever
okay,
works best for your fiscal
okay. So
budget.
you'll
Up
have,
to
so
February.
we're approving that amount, but you don't have to write the check until February.
For next year.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And then you'll provide a report, the analytical report on how those are performing so that we can add that
Right.
into our marketing
Yeah, and-
report.
And in this that I passed around, which has the logo you used when you first turned on your presentation.
I didn't make that though.
Well, so in there, it kind of gives you a little bit of a breakdown, like an example of what our numbers look like.
It's so crazy that lodging is so
Thanks.
You're welcome.
down, that we
Right.
can experience that.
Yeah.
Down 45%, that's crazy.
So, this kind
That's
of,
true though. In my other role, I see bureaus that are having cash flow issues because they don't have cash.
oh yeah. It's the norm.
Not here.
Yeah.
This just gives you a little bit of an idea. This is a bunch of marketing fluff in here. But this piece is important just because it kind of gives you an idea of what you're buying into with this mobile footer. We launched our website last June, and since then we've got 2.2 million page views, 3.9 million page views, actually. Over 4 million impressions on our ads. And our newsletter data is, we've got over 158,000 subscribers, and that is a great open rate. 35% is amazing. This just gives you also the basics on our distribution for the travel guide, so that you kind of know where these travel guides are going. And the next page gives you why would you want to do digital with us. So we've got over 3 million yearly sessions, over 5 million yearly page views, and you can read, but over 1.1 million yearly interactions. So we're growing, and this is we've hired new PR strategists, so we're able to offer you guys a lot more in earned media as well with our,
We'll do that next week or 2 weeks.
so
Okay.
that just kind of, if you want to look at it, and it kind of gives you an idea of where we're going with Visit Indiana website.
Okay.
And, yes.
Just like Courtney has numbers for us to compare our stuff to the state stuff, right?
Yep, so our page views since that date, so theirs were 3.9 million and ours was 1.4 million. But I attribute most of that to Cover Bridge Festival.
Right.
Well, I think it's a working relationship good for all of us.
I do too.
It's tough for some of us, more mature ones in the room to get past the days when we were thrilled when we got 4,000 or 5,000 responses on coupons or ads or whatever we might see, if we even had a way of tracking where those coupons came from. To see where we're talking 500,000 contacts over a period or whatever, these numbers are just amazing to me. But I think it's reflective in the numbers being reached, and be able to do what we can with the information we get as far as times and targets and what interests who, when, and I think that's all really valuable stuff, which we've never had access to before.
Plus, by the demographic, you're paying pennies per contact.
Yes.
I mean, literally
Yes.
pennies. You know,
If even a penny for it.
Yeah.
You're talking about 3 million contacts here for 2,000 bucks or
So
whatever,
it's
you know.
like
So.
.002,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
so it's, yeah, I just ran it, that's so cheap.
Yep.
If you take the travel guide respectfully, and you're working on our behalf, but if we would have gone back 10 or 15 or 20 years ago, for us old people, we were the #2 destination in the fall in Indiana. We won't talk about what color everybody wanted to go to, but we have now, last year, as you know, we were on the New York Times list, and all the stuff that we are partnering with multiple organizations, not just the state, not just the Festival Association, but also the Food Alliance. Because their numbers as a small organization have skyrocketed this year too.
You know, it took the whole state of Indiana, region, whatever you were talking about, a whole long time, especially here, to realizing how well partnering works. Instead of saying, trying to defend your territory, you need to partner with everybody. It took a long time to get to that point. We're there now.
We're clearly there now.
Yes.
And you've witnessed today, everything that we've done today has been unanimous.
I know.
And we're being filmed for all of our county residents to see us.
Oh. I wondered about that.
Wave at the camera.
Right?
would have been less
Yes.
fidgety.
This is a pretty clear about where we're going and the emphasis of where we're going with the new monies that the county council and the county commissioners have enabled us to do next year. We're going to put most of that towards digital and covered bridge repair and the police and fire protection funds. Pretty clear. I don't see us doing much new in print at all, though we're gonna be up a little bit in the festival guide. But basically everything else that's major in print, we're staying the same, other than if we can get another trail for the Food Alliance and that print piece, we'll take that for sure. But right now, as you know, we've got both of the covers and we'll have first right of refusal on that this next year as well.
Do you have any questions for us?
No, I did, the only thing I wanted to add was on the subject of the move-in page that we're gonna get on our site by next week. Joking. We have also an Indiana destination map, so that you guys talked about the paper map, but we have a lot of conversations about maps, the destination map on this website, and that's gonna be phenomenal. But we're working on that, and that's to come, and it's also part of what we offer our value to you. So this page just kind of tells you what we're doing behind the scenes to continue to promote you.
So is that on the website or it will be on the website? And so if you're going to
Yes.
community, then there's like a link, I see a QR code, and then that takes you to the map that county provides to you.
Correct.
So we've already got that. I mean, we already have that established, so then you just have to get.
And you're certainly not old enough, and I don't know if you've been involved long enough, but for us, we certainly remember the days that that's the correct word that you used on our behalf. We definitely have become a destination. Before, we were just a pass-through on the way to something else. People happened to stop in Parke County or happened to stop in Rockville because they were going somewhere else.
How long?
That's changed now.
What did you say the anniversary was of the covered bridge?
The covered bridge was burned in 2005, and we built it in 2006,
That's
so
just
the
the
anniversary was
bridge.
2025.
The festival
The
itself.
The festival was 1957.
Okay.
So it's be 66 years old this year.
Yeah.
I went to it in 1992 when I first moved to Indianapolis.
67 actually, because you gotta count the first one, so 67.
Skipped one.
So it'd be the 66th festival, right? Because we missed 24.
67th year, yeah.
All right.
Although people still paint.
Right, right.
There were still vendors open.
Okay, I got
Hey,
to.
another question
Yeah.
when you're all done, I got one more question for you. So when you're
Well,
all
I
done.
was just going to ask you, does anyone have any suggestions, requests, or anything you'd like to see from us from a support besides giving you a request for your media more than a week ahead?
Oh, yeah. Well, probably resharing some of our content on Instagram and Facebook more frequently would be nice. I mean, you all use a lot of user-generated content from our county, but not necessarily resharing our actual posts. So that would probably be one suggestion, or even just resharing on your stories.
And
things
I'm
like
going to
that.
connect you with our PR girl, Haley, and we can definitely work through that.
Do you go, like, do you physically, or do you have team or interns or things who go to those counties and kind of do your own, like on your website, like where you are, or on your social media sites where you're visiting that time, or going to special events? Do you guys do that?
We have just some of the events that we're promoting on our site. Are you asking if we attend?
Yeah.
Kind of see what's
Yeah.
going on? Yes, occasionally we do.
Yeah.
We are only a staff of 16.
Right. Well, I didn't know. Like, is there,
And-
is
but
there
we
a
do have
request? Like,
interns.
do you have requests that you can sit? I'm not thinking of
If
anything
you're
off my.
thinking
But
it-
if there is an event that we want to visit Indiana to attend and be a guest. Just like if you wanted to send a request to Lieutenant Governor to come for a special event, you fill out the request, you send it to the team, and then they let you know if it's been approved or not. Do you
Right.
have something like that? Just so if in the event we wanted to do something like that, then we knew it was or do we just?
You just tell me.
Okay.
The tough part for, I speak on her behalf here, the tough part for a statewide entity, just like countywide entities, to go to a specific event and then have comments on that event of how good or how bad it is really puts them in a tough spot. You
Yeah.
can't be arbitrary in who you like and don't like.
Yeah.
Because you still got the advertising, it still exists, they're still paying county taxes, so.
Yeah.
To go to the event, I understand that, but then to have to write a story, giving it the best face you possibly can, even if it's a horrible thing.
No, I
would
just
be
mean,
tough.
like, if there, if there's something that we felt like they would want to see and be a part of, like, so when you invite the lieutenant governor to something special, because it does help promote your your event, your county organization, or anything like that. I just didn't know if
What
that
we
existed.
don't have, where we see the lieutenant governor, where we see the governor, where we see high profile people, is on mega parades, and we do not have a mega parade. So, I mean, it's not, where we're unique is that we're the largest festival fair and event, but everybody else in the top 8 or 10, they all have mega parades. We do not have a Covered Bridge Festival parade, nor do we have a mega parade in our county at any time. That would warrant somebody like that.
Well, how
many days does the festival go?
10.
Okay.
But I mean, it's not like Tossa Fest, the 500, Marshall County Blueberry Festival, all of those have mega parades.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why don't we?
Enough people, enough businesses willing to do it.
yeah.
Montezuma hadn't had theirs the last couple of years for the same thing. It's down to just a handful of us. The last time I was there, just a
Yeah,
handful.
they're a lot of work.
We don't have marching bands. I mean, to make a really good parade, there's certain things. If you look at there's certain things they all have that our parades.
Now, for a fair parade, we're right up there with about anybody on fair parade. But our 4-H is up right up there with any other county as well, with our 600 members. So it really is. But
That-
as far as being a big countywide parade for the fair, we just wouldn't.
Yeah, it's what I did
Right.
when I worked for RJL. I contacted the lieutenant governor's team. I was the point of contact. I was the person that made sure Lieutenant Governor got everywhere on time and everyone quit talking to her when she needed to go. So there were more than just
Correct.
festivals in there. There might be.
4 years ago, coincidentally, the Lieutenant Governor from Indiana, Suzanne Crouch, was here at the same time the Lieutenant Governor from Illinois, and they saw each other on the square. Correct. 4 years ago.
That's cool.
Yeah, that was a coincidence. Suzanne knew who the Lieutenant Governor
Yeah.
was, and they were both literally on the square and saw each other at the same
Yeah.
time.
Again, there's nothing in my mind that says this is what we need to have them here for. It's just one of those things, having been a part of it, it does bring recognition, and it's fun. And so if just to know, is that an opportunity,
But you're thinking, and I'm glad to see you finally doing that.
Ooh, I'll meet you in the parking lot, Jim.
So you're doing good, kid. You're doing good.
Remember, he appoints you.
Remember, I'm the berry in blood. I'm feisty.
That's why it scared me when I saw you guys talking outside.
No.
I just want to watch your plans.
Yeah, no, it's just it's just stuff I just like to question and know. And so if we ever thought something like that would be beneficial, then we know we could ask.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to know that you were in that position actually before, because there are things that we'd like to invite the lieutenant governor for the economic development side to do things, but you don't want to invite him to every little thing we have, so you got to make that choice. How do you do that? And so I think you should decide that and let us know and get back to us about what we ought to do.
I do like it's a whiteboard session, really.
It is, yeah.
So we all done with her? I got my final
Are
question.
you done with me or not?
No, not yet.
No,
Are you done with us? Do you have any more things you wanted to share with us?
I really just,
You came a long way, and we finished business with you pretty quickly. So.
I thank you, and I appreciate you giving me your ears and all the business all the partnership that we've had up to this point. So thank you, and I really enjoyed the meeting.
Well, we are certainly willing, and that's why we're here. Even if the numbers weren't as good as they were, we're still looking to partner with the state on everything, because we know it's going to benefit all of us to do that. So
it's a win.
always look at us as a partner, if you would, because we're not just somebody to sell something to. We are a partner in all of this, and we're willing to pay our share as we go.
Oh, we benefit when you benefit.
Great.
So.
What question you got, Doug?
Are you done?
I'm done.
Okay, what are we not doing you think we should be doing? At what level?
Oh my gosh. Someone that I work with in my office, our new PR strategist, would probably be so much better for you to speak to than myself, but
Be glad to have them come.
Yeah, I can also talk to them and
Yeah.
get some feedback.
Okay, so why don't you put them in contact with me, because you know what I do, when they respond, I respond and CC all of these folks. You
Yes.
see that, you see my style of leadership, literally.
yes, and,
And what I exhibited uniquely, because I'm only 12 hours at the bank now, is this, I was 7 days at the state fair, and what I saw was a unique untapped market. Now, we'll find out what their attendance was here in the coming weeks, but I just saw the enthusiasm that I'd been there before for a day or two, but never 7 days.
I can't
And I
believe
wasn't
you
there the first
survived.
week, but
7
I was there
days.
7 days with the vehicle. Now, some days I was in and out with it because we did the parades and then we left and went someplace else. But what I did see was a unique enthusiasm that I had not seen for us before. Okay, and the other thing is we are going to be invited, and I plan to take Courtney with me. I'm pretty sure we're going to be part of a panel about fair festivals and events at ITA, which is Indiana Tourism Association, in their January meeting. And the specific thing is that our topic, what we're going to explain to them is how did we become in the last 20 years overtake and go from 300,000 attendance to over 1 million. So, you know, what we're doing now in 10 days is what Holiday World tries to do in a whole season. And so part of that is what we're going to explain to them is how we have systemically done that for the benefit of our greater community based on the brand the Covered Bridge Festival. And then Tim wants me to, the other thing is, though, I know Tim's not here from Turkey Run In, but he too wants to make sure that on the DNR thing that obviously they've been sold out, as we all know, and that's where a lot of our increase in revenue is coming from. How we can transcend that and stretch another week or two both ways with now school starting earlier, you know, and they're out different times now as well. How we can figure out how to fill the inn more than a couple weekends in the winter months with their special events. Okay.
Well, thanks for coming. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
It's great to see you
Very
all.
much.
And I left some more of those
Okay.
price sheets.
Anyone have anything else for the good of the organization? Is there a motion to adjourn?
Thank you. Thank you.
I make a motion.
Okay. Adjourn.